II was a war that absolutely changed the vision of warfare in many ways. It was the war where jet engines were put into planes, when the atomic bombs were dropped, and more. One country that isn't talked about as much for their innovation during the war are the Japanese. Most people think about their kamikaze strikes and think this was all they had to offer, but they honestly developed a lot more than that. Allow us to show you secret weapons of the Japanese. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 5. Fugo balloon bombs. As the Germans were lobbing V-2 rockets over the English Channel, the Japanese were fashioning their own vengeance weapons as well. Military planners who were unable to develop an intercontinental missile instead came up with the idea of balloon bombs. To make it work, the Japanese attached incendiary bombs to balloons, which traveled 5,000 miles toward the United States along the jet stream. The intention was to have the devices explode over the forested regions of the Pacific Northwest and start large forest fires that would divert precious U.S. manpower. The first balloons were launched in late 1944, landing in the U.S. on November 5th off San Pedro, California. By the following day, they landed as far away as Thermopolis, Wyoming. Some even landed in Canada. In all, some 285 confirmed landings and/or sightings were made. On March 5th, 1945, 6 Americans, a minister, and 5 children were killed by one of the grounded balloons in Oregon while attempting to pull it through the forest back to their camp. Number 4. Sentoku-class Mega Sub. The Japanese managed to build 3 of these behemoths during the war, vessels which hold the record as the largest conventionally powered submarines ever built. As part of the Japanese plan to dominate the Pacific Ocean, including the western seaboard of the United States, they were designed to attack the Panama Canal. The subs were equipped with 3 Aichi M6A1 airplanes, which could carry a torpedo, or up to 1,763 pounds of bombs. They were housed in a watertight, pressure-resistant hangar. The planes were launched from a catapult located in the front of the tower, and all 3 could be assembled, fueled, armed, and launched within 45 minutes of surfacing. The irony, of course, is that before they could be launched into combat, the war ended. Number 3. Unit 731. From 1937 until the end of the war, the Japanese experimented with various biological weapons, including the toxic defoliation Backley bomb, a precursor to Agent Orange, and the flea bomb used to spread the bubonic plague. The Imperial Japanese Army's notorious Unit 731, a covert biological and chemical warfare research and development unit, performed tests on human subjects with bubonic plague, cholera, smallpox, botulism, and other diseases. Japanese soldiers used these bombs to launch biological attacks, infecting agriculture, reservoirs, wells, and other areas. More than 200,000 Chinese people were killed in germ warfare field experiments. Number 2. Fukuri suicide attack suits. These special dive suits were designed for the Japanese special attack units to fend off an invasion of the home island by Allied forces. The suits were armed with a mine coating of 33 pounds of explosives attached to a 16-foot bamboo pole. The divers, weighed down by 20 pounds of lead, would walk underwater for as much as 6 hours at depths of 16 to 23 feet. The divers, upon reaching the hull of an enemy ship, would detonate the explosives, killing themselves in the process. It is not known if this suit was ever used in combat, but there are accounts of U.S. infantry landing craft and a surveyor ship being attacked by suicide swimmers. Number 1. The Purple Encryption Machine. The German Enigma machine may be the most famous encryption device of the Second World War, but it was by no means the only one. In 1937, the Japanese developed the 97 alphabetical typewriter, named for its creation on the Japanese year 2597. This device was better known by its U.S. code name, Purple. The machine consisted of 2 typewriters and an electrical motor system with a 25-character alphabetic switchboard. Its main innovation was the second electric typewriter, which would print the encrypted message onto a piece of paper. Enigma presented text in the form of blinking lights. Thus, only one person was needed to operate it, and because the Japanese changed the key on a daily basis, code breakers were not able to find patterns in the messages. As Alberto Perez notes, the switchboard contained 25 connections, which could be arranged into 6 pairs of connections, producing 70 billion possible arrangements. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the secret weapons that Japan had during World War II? Are you amazed by how many inventions they had to try to win the war? Which of these did you honestly know about before coming to this video? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.